Hi, welcome to Comic Spot. I love vetting out veterans because I'm a veteran of the military, not of comedy. Cory Showtime Robinson over there is a veteran of comedy. I've only been doing it 6 years with a little brain injury. He looks like he's got all his noggins put together. And let me
Only
read
got
you
one.
the. Yeah. He has some credits that'll make you weep. I'm telling you. He has a comedy special called $40 Till Friday on Amazon. He's been on Showtime, NKEV Podcast. He's been on Laughs on Fox. Yeah. And never mind. I was going to make some smart remark. He's been on the San Francisco Sketch Fest. He's been on Laughing Skull. You guys, he's been on Savage Henry's comedy festivals. This guy, everybody who knows him loves him and says he's a great guy. I'm so glad he's here. I get to know him, and you guys get to be the voyeurs. This is almost like porn, except without the sex. Cory, hi. Welcome to Comic Spot.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is great. Such a wonderful intro. I was like, who's showing up? This guy.
I'm hoping somebody will say, she'd make a great host.
Well, I'll be the first, of many, but definitely, you would make a fantastic host.
Thank you. So talk to me about what it's like to go through your very first pandemic in Los Angeles.
It's unprecedented for sure. Like
Yes.
we're all kind of dealing with the same thing. It's weird because like I had some momentum going into the year. I had a lot of comedy shows that I wanted to do, and that all stopped immediately, like on St. Patrick's Day. I remember
17th. Yeah.
Yeah, right on the 17th, and like everything just shut down from there. And I'm blessed. I've got a day job. I'm doing better than a lot of people that are in the gig economy right now. It's really tough out there for a lot of people, but I'm doing okay. I'm happy for that. But it's really hard because comedy, anything involving a gathering, is kind of done for foreseeable future. Hopefully soon it comes back, but and that's where we thrive in. We thrive in having that energy, that instant feedback, and I miss it because the COVID.
Totally. So have you been personally touched by friends and relatives, other comics with the COVID-19?
Not physically. That's interesting. Interesting choice of words there. No pun intended. But yes, it's definitely affected my personal circle. Very close friend of mine that's a comic had it and got better. Thank goodness. Two of them,
Yes.
actually, two good friends. One here in LA, another one in New York. For the sake of their their health records, I'm not gonna say names. Also had a friend of mine. Wasn't a comic. He had it. He's still kind of fighting it. Hopefully gets out soon. But yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. And it's funny because like I was making a joke about Herman Cain 2 days ago. Now it's too soon. Like it's not sad that he's dead, may he rest in peace, but it's ironic as hell, ain't it? Oh my god, it's very ironic. And
Wow.
but that's how serious it is, and we need to take it seriously.
Yeah. And I just, I want to say a really bad pun. Just get ready. I'm warning you, it's going to be a pun.
Bracing myself.
You want to tell a cane joke
Mhm.
if you're able.
That was
So
pretty-
bad.
That was pretty.
Just remember I'm white and I'm old, and that's as good as it gets.
Rodney Dangerfield would be very proud.
Oh my gosh. Have you noticed anything going on in the crazy Meshuggah world with COVID-19 that you think is hilariously funny? I mean, the whole shutdown and all that, no, it's not funny, but the way people act and overact.
Yes, yes, indeed. The temper tantrums over the mask are they're they're funny in the moment because you don't think about the ramifications down the line. But in the moment, seeing a grown person, a grown adult, older than me, with children, pitching a fit in a store, stamping their feet. One woman actually dropped trout and peed on the carpet in a store because someone asked her to put on a mask. What in the hell is wrong with y'all? Like that, like you said, you're white, you're old, and you seem cool. But there's a lot of white people that have had too much freedom.
Yes,
like
yes.
they're overdosing on freedom. And
Totally.
some of these Karens need to be like, if you're gonna do that, police need to take you away for a minute.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. So that was a white person using their white privilege.
It's like, I'm not saying like other races don't do it, but whenever you see it on the internet, it's always of a certain demographic, man.
Totally.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. You know, other people who happen to be white don't like me saying and admitting that, you know, most of our lives we have had white privilege and we've used it. And then we found out we've had it all along. We've been out cashing these checks and didn't even know we were overdrawn.
Well, thank you very much for being a white person, telling white people about that, because as a black person, they'll never believe me. But
they get mad at me for admitting it.
You know why though, right? It's because subliminally, like I think a lot of white people have been trained to just think this is how it's supposed to be. And when you go against that, they're like, dude, what are you doing? You're supposed to be on our side. You're messing up everything. Come on, we want our discount.
I got nasty messages for saying what I said, and I was like, you know what? I don't censor you.
Well, if you're pissing people off, you're probably doing something.
That's it. That's it. You know, speaking of which, you know, like us white people, we have stop with like, I know how it must feel. We have no idea how it must feel to be black in America. No freaking clue, because we haven't, not even for an hour, had to deal with what it's like to be black in America. And Sinbad, he said, you all couldn't take it, and so did Shang once, that you couldn't even take it for an hour. And I think Alonzo Bowden said it. And we couldn't. We would shrivel up and die if we weren't able to be a Karen when we needed to.
I was about to say, you can't even take being called Karen.
Yeah, right?
One of my friends I was on the phone with one of my friends earlier, and he was talking about how he was on Facebook, and one of his friends was talking about how Karen is oppressive and it makes her feel bad. And I was like, oh, you mean to tell me there's a word that makes your entire race, your entire demographic feel like less of a person? Oh my, tell me more. This is fascinating to me. I've never had this experience in my life. Please elaborate.
We don't know what suffering is.
I mean, I have one in my backyard.
When we are trying to relate, we look so stupid and uninformed and ridiculously blind. You know, we need to admit we don't have a clue. We couldn't make it, and that's, you know, and listen to what people who have gone. How many hundreds of years have we in America treated people of color as though they are lesser than white people? Hundreds of years.
450 something.
Crazy.
I lost count.
We can't handle it when we go to Walmart and the machine doesn't work.
They're just saying, yeah, it's always something, and it's one thing about 2020 is it's exposing a lot, you know, because there's a lot of people that there's just by the way things are happening. The thing about COVID that's actually a good thing is it's completely even. Like, it has it discriminates not at all. I mean, black people are more affected, but you know, that's an economic thing. But like, COVID affects everybody on an even spread. If you're a human being, you're in trouble. I think one of the first dogs died of COVID. So like if you catch this particular virus, it's very, very deadly and it affects everyone the same way. Your family, my family, everyone, right? But since we're all trying to and the way, okay, sorry, before I lose my point. Like it affects everyone equally, and the way that people are reacting to how we're trying to handle it is showing a lot in their priorities and what they don't want and who they don't like and who they think they're better than. So because this control to the experiment now exists, it's airing out a lot of things. And with all these, with these video cameras we have everywhere, like everybody sees what it is, or at least one side of it, or a side you weren't able to get as quickly.
Yes, absolutely. Like I'm 69 years old, born in Portland, Oregon.
Great year, by the way.
Yes. Something else that was 69. What was that? So, Portland's a very racist town, and my parents came over here after Hitler, and my dad would go down to City Hall and fight for the rights of people that were being oppressed. And, ladies of the night were being oppressed, people of color, homeless, It was a terrible town. City Hall treated people like they were far less than human. And so, I've seen a lot of racism, a lot of it. I've seen it in the school system. I've seen it. I was a banker. I've seen people of color turned away to get loans because not even given an application to fill out. So I don't think it's funny. And I think it's about time everybody wake up to it and quit ignoring it. So.
That would be great. I wish there was something else that could do that. Like, this virus affects everyone equally. I'm starting to think it's going to take aliens invading for humans to unite, because we need something we can all have a common denominator on. And it should be that we're human, but it's not.
Yeah. You'd think that if we're going through a pandemic, that would unite us, but people are finding ways to politicize it and pull us apart.
Yeah.
We're trying to survive as a human race right now.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that we have a lot of leadership that kind of feels a very certain way. And
yes.
And that's showing too.
Yes. Talk to me about your early life, Cory. Now, is Showtime considered your stage name? I'm so bad at this.
I guess so. It's like my nickname. Like I got it. It's not even like a comedy thing. It just kind of stuck because of comedy. But I'm a huge Laker fan. I'm always carrying Laker stuff around with me. And oh damn, it's not even showing up because my green screen. But
yes.
And like my friends just started calling me Showtime. And when I found out you could change your name on Facebook, and I just put my middle name as Showtime. And then people just started calling me, oh, is that Cory Showtime? How is it? And then it just stuck with it. So I kind of made it a brand.
Love it. I'm a huge Lakers fan.
Nice.
Of Kobe and Shaq.
Yes. May Kobe rest in peace, man. This year sucks.
Oh my gosh. Now, the Lakers had a player from out in the eastern part of Europe, Vujacic, maybe 15 years ago. That guy could shoot a basket from the women's room.
So what was that?
He could shoot a basket from the women's room.
Yes. Couldn't play defense, but he could shoot. As I know him, Sasha Vujacic. Open again. What is wrong with this? Clearly, nobody is paying attention to Sasha.
Do you have any Shaq jokes about his shooting from the free throw line?
I never had any jokes about Shaq shooting. All my jokes were about Shaq as a human being. And on the basketball court, Shaq was my absolute favorite player of all time. That was I was a Laker fan before I was a Shaq fan, but when Shaq came to the Lakers, it cemented it. I was like, yes, a favorite player, because this dude, I've always been a fat guy. I've always been a big dude, and Shaq was breaking backboards and stuff. He was not when he was younger, he wasn't fat. He's fat now. But he's younger, he was really he was chiseled, but he was 7 feet tall, and he was a big dude who was always breaking backboards. And I want that dude on my team. And nobody can stop him.
Nobody. Oh my gosh. He's like a linebacker and then some.
He's like an offensive lineman.
Yeah. That's more
The
like
offensive
it.
lineman that can run a 4.40.
Wow. Did you do sports in high school or college?
I did. I was terrible at them. That's why I do comedy. I was a chubby kid, and then I became a fat person. I do have a good degree of athleticism that keeps me alive. Like that's the happy medium. Like I eat shitty food, but I work out. Like I run a lot. I lift weights. I played football in high school. That's where I got like the drive. In fact, I got a story about this thing we used to do called the gut lap, where it's like after every practice, no matter how hard we practice, we ran one lap around the perimeter of the field, and we were supposed to go full sprint. Like you're not supposed to like pace yourself. You're not supposed to try and like make it like you're supposed to give everything you got. It's your guts, your gut lap. Like a lot of guys threw up, so it's another reason they call it the gut lap. But the whole point of this exercise was like, no matter how tired you think you are, there's always something left in the tank. So we went through a whole practice, and we can, and like I guarantee you, if everybody runs this hard, practice is over. And that's when you would see big fat dudes like just hauling, like all of the ass behind them, hauling because it's like it's almost over. It was a great motivator, and that exercise taught me that I always have something else left in the tank. So it's like I was like 315, probably 5'6" when I was in high school, and by the time I graduated, I was 220, 5'9". So I didn't get any taller, but I lost the weight, and now I'm somewhere around two. And but I haven't been 300 pounds since. So I've been trying to stay under that.
Absolutely. Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Monterey Peninsula in a city called Seaside. It was right in between Monterey and Santa Cruz and Salinas. So it was a really interesting thing. On one side, I saw it was great for my comedy makeup because I got a lot of race early, but it wasn't necessarily racism. It was just kind of racial because like when I was a kid, like I grew up with everybody because it's a military town, like white kids, black kids. I had friends that are Fijian, Tongan, Samoan. I got friends from Lithuania. I got friends from Lebanon. So there's a lot of people. I met a lot of people in a lot of different and we also have the DLI, Defense Language Institute. So we have people from all over the world come here to learn English. And a lot of people go out all over the world with whatever they learn. So I got everybody growing up, and that gave me like this sensitivity to race, but also like I don't have to tiptoe around this shit. I know everybody. And I also saw very early like black people got treated differently than white people because I lived in Seaside where most of the black people live, and Monterey, Carmel, Pebble Beach. You've heard of these places.
Yes.
Pebble Beach costs $8 to drive through. That's what kind of income level they're doing. Right? So my father was in construction and we worked for a lot of these people. And sometimes it was cool, sometimes I felt like the help. And there was a lot of jobs I did doing working when I was like in and out of high school and college and whatnot, doing like catering gigs and banquets and whatnot. And I felt like the help. And yes. At the same time, I had a lot of friends that were in gangs, and which was weird because we're right on the ocean. It's a gorgeous place. And, like one of my jokes was like, "Why are we fighting? Our projects have an ocean view," But like we had all these gangsters, and then Salinas was just there's 4 or 5 movies about like the Latino gangs that come out of there. And I'm not nothing against anyone. I'm not trying to start no shit. I'm just saying that's like I've seen a lot of friction over the years. And
yes.
But it helped me because it also helped me learn how to navigate around everybody. I know how to joke with my Mexican friends, my Asian friends, my white friends, like everybody. I got something of everything in this country. It gave me a good tool set.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So when did you realize you were funny? Some people come on here and they'll say they did it to get the girls, and some of them say they did it because they were being bullied or they were the ugly ones, so they had to have a personality. What led you in? When did you first know you were funny, and what was the impetus that made you do comedy?
Well, as far as those reasons you listed, kind of all of the above.
Me
Like,
too.
like I was a chubby kid. I was getting in a lot of fights because I had a short temper, and then I also realized, like, as a kid of as the son of a teacher versus a lot of children of soldiers, I was kind of at a disadvantage physically. Like there's a bit of hand-to-hand combat that I didn't learn right away that they had. So I had to learn a different martial art. So I started making a lot of friends. And also, like, when I was in middle school, I knew I was like comedy funny because, like, I was always making my mom and dad laugh, make my family laugh. That was like my role in the family, is like the diffuser, the comedy relief. Like when things got tense, you can always, like, I'd hop up like with something, ease the tension. And
me too.
And in middle school, I was making friends, but wasn't popular with the girls, and I was kind of like awkward. And one of my buddies, who I like to call Mike Lowry, even though his name's Billy, he was like the most popular kid in the class, and I call him Mike Lowry because he was just like Will Smith's character in Bad Boys. Tall, good looking, all the girls liked him, come from a rich family. You know what I mean? Like, just he was the shit. And he was my buddy, and he was like, "Yo, man, you're really funny. You should do the talent show," because he was gonna rap in the talent show, and he's like, "You should do the talent show, do comedy." And I was like, "Man, I don't want to do that." He's like, "I'll bet you $5 if you do it, you'll win." And I was like, "It's like 1996, 1995, 96. That's all the money in the world to me, man. Yeah, let's go." So I did it. I was nervous. I was shaking, but as soon as I told my first joke, like, it got a laugh, and then it got like a second wave. Like before, it was like they got it, and like they started laughing, and then everybody started laughing at everybody else. And I was like, "Oh, I'm on to something here." And I did my 5, and I won the talent show, or at least for that section, because there wasn't any other comedians. And I've been pretty much at it ever since.
Wow. So what was the first comedy club that you were at?
First comedy club I was at was a place called Planet Gemini that no longer exists. It was a nightclub down in Monterey that did comedy on Fridays and Saturdays. And I got, like, the third or fourth time I did the talent show, one of the club owners was one of the judges, and he saw me and asked me to come in. And his brother became like best friends with my dad. So wow. I was at the club like every other weekend. And that I got to meet a lot of people early. I was like 15 years old. Then they like stuck me in a certain section of the club because you couldn't be there because you got to be liquor laws and shit. But I met like Gabriel Iglesias, Jimmy Fallon, George Lopez, like, and these all before they made it.
Oh wow!
It's like, I know that guy.
Did some of them take you under their wing and help you and guide you?
They gave me advice, but nobody took me anywhere. Like, I had to get out on my own. But I got a lot of great advice. Like, I met Ronaldo Array in Vegas one time, and because I had family who lived out there, and it's part of my act that I moved to Vegas when I was 17, which is stupid. It's like that's like going to Six Flags and you're 3 feet tall. And I met Ronaldo Ray at a nightclub out there, and don't ask me how I got it. And he was like, "Listen, young blood, you got talent. You are definitely hungry because you ain't supposed to be in this one. But I'll tell you, don't quit your day job because this ain't easy." And he was right, because I have a day job right now, and that's saving me.
What kind of day job do you do?
I am in marketing. I went to college because my parents made me. And that's how I started doing comedy in the Bay and met all my friends. But I got a background in marketing, and I work for this wonderful company called Old Country Millwork, where I design things like these, like their swag, their merchandise, their promotional materials, their advertising campaigns, their social media, basically their whole media section.
So, like, you come up with stuff for the company or for their clients that get a hold of them and need stuff?
A little both actually, but for the company, we sell these giant sheets of metal. Right now, you see this building behind me.
Yeah.
All right, like the outside of that is sheet metal. Okay, some company is gonna ask, like the architect or the contractor is going to spec that into the thing. Right, it's not what keeps the building up at all, but it is what makes the building look the way that it does. And we paint that a specific way so you don't ever have to really repaint it. You feel me? So
Got it.
my first job is figuring out how to concisely explain that to people through media.
Wow.
And this is one way we do it.
My goodness sakes. And that in the form of a ball helps them to understand.
We have a ball, we have pins, we have business cards, we have bandanas, we have do I have any of it? Oh, yeah. This is a genius idea that me and my CFO came up with. Oh wait, it's green. It's green. You can't see it. Hang on, let me fix my camera. I'm gonna have to pay no attention to the man behind the carpet. It's Old Country Millwork hand sanitizer. We don't sell this shit. We just give it away. Okay, like that's just our promotional stuff to give to people that we have to send 1 million of these physical metal samples to people. So when we do that, like obviously somebody touched it, probably me. We put the hand sanitizer in there too, so keep you safe.
Oh, cool. So that job and the comedy at night keep you going. Yep. And where all has your comedy taken you around these years since you said 15 years old?
I have performed in, I think, 12 states, 3 different countries, and 2 U.S. territories.
So what were the other countries?
Canada, Korea, Japan, 4, and the UAE. I was in Abu Dhabi. It was on a military tour.
I love you to pieces. Thank you for entertaining the troops, Cory.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping us safe. Even though, I know a lot of the times you guys don't want to follow the orders you have to. You do your job, and God bless you for it.
Thank you. What was it like doing comedy for the troops? I do comedy. I did it on the West Coast and the East Coast for veterans. Mm-hmm. But I've never gone abroad to do military comedy. What's it like going abroad to do comedy?
It's an absolute joy and a privilege. First of all, a military audience is the easiest crowd you're ever going to have in your life. They laugh at everything, and they can't wait for anything to remotely relate to one of them so they can point to their friends and laugh at them. They are ecstatic to have a show. I love doing shows in the military. You guys are the best. You're never interrupting. You're always supportive. And oh my God, I've never had a bad military show ever. I can say it, knock on wood. I've never bombed a military show. So there's that. And then there's also you guys, it's not the most comfortable situation, but damn it if y'all don't try to make it that. Because I remember when I was in Abu Dhabi, it's one of the most lush, luxurious, if you got money, it's the best place to be on earth. That wasn't where we were. We were on the base. I was sleeping on a cot. With a concrete, what do you call those things? Like those things you have for when the bombs go off.
Yes.
Like a concrete thing over the base. So it was a couple times, but it was super cool. Because it was an Air Force base. I can't say which one, but we got to see I got to wear a bomb suit. I got to play with the little robot. They let us drive in a tank. We got to sit in the back seat with these. I'm not sure, they're air marshals, air officers or whatever. Their job is to help the SR-50 land. It's like an old spy plane they still use that goes all the way up in between our atmosphere and space and takes pictures and stuff. Yeah.
Have any of the military people come up to you and said something so touching that you will never forget it?
I actually have a plaque somewhere. I moved, so I haven't put it up yet. But I have a plaque somewhere from when I did that, and that's one of my most prized possessions. It was from the guys in Japan. It's got a lotus blossom on it, and it's thank you for your service. It's got a little coin on it. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, man. do you have military people in your family, or this was your first experience going
Oh,
into the military?
I'm technically a military brat because like my mother's ex-husband before I was born I think he was a lieutenant in the Army, and she divorced him before I was born, but she still had military clearance because she had been married to an officer for so long, and so like that's how she was able to work on Fort Ord. Like she was a teacher there, and both my uncles in the Air Force. I got another cousin that was in the Marines, so definitely I got a lot of friends in the military too.
Oh, that's so cool. You know, it really touches my heart that comedians are open to making the military laugh.
Oh yeah, it's a great job. I love doing it. Like I'll do it anytime they ask me, and the money's pretty decent too.
There you go. That's great. So you started your comedy in Southern California, and then you
Northern
decided
California.
Okay, pardon me. Geographical evidently isn't my thing.
Yes, I'm a
I
big
thought I was
alumni.
I thought I was from the Upper West Side. Turns out it's the Upper West Side of the map, Oregon. So, so then you moved at some point. You said, "I'm going to go do this for real and go to LA."
Yeah. In fact, it was 2015. In 2010 I graduated from college, and by 2011 I had moved back home, and I was living in San Jose, and I moved back to Monterey because I couldn't afford, like I had a job, lost it, and then it was the worst time to not have a job. Like 2010 was like Obama was trying. I could not find work, but it worked for me because like out of like pure necessity, I just started doing comedy. Like I was living at home, but I would still drive up to the Bay and go do shows, and I would network with people, and I would set up road gigs, and I would talk to people and be like, oh, I get this contact, and I set you up with this guy, and I get booked over here and over there. The furthest I drove on a road trip was to El Paso. I drove to El Paso. Yeah. Yeah, that was rough.
Oh my God.
But it was the best week of shows I could have asked for. I had a blast.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was it?
Oh, go ahead.
Why was it good?
El Paso's a fun town. Like it's funny. Like I don't know how fun it is to live there, but passing through, it's a fun town. Like the comedy club is in between like it's a military town. Like there's like it's right there. There's a lot of people that love to drink, a lot of great food, and there was a restaurant across the street called Los Ojos, something about the evil eye, I think though, like Los Ojos Rojos or something like that, the red eye, and it was like Hooters but for butts. So like instead of like chicks having like their cleavage out, they were wearing like these super short skirts, and like the waitresses kept coming to the shows. It was a fun week.
Got it. My ex-husband was at Fort Hood in El Paso, and my daughter was living with him for a year. And I took the car with no brakes once. It just had emergency brakes, and I went all the way to El Paso from Portland, Oregon, to get my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean about El Paso.
Yeah, that is a crazy long drive. I salute you for being a good mom, but that's a horrible idea, and don't ever do that again.
You got a promise. Yes. I used my whole tax refund that year just on that trip.
Yeah, you should have been on your brakes.
Yes,
totally.
You just think in terms of punchlines, don't you?
I've gotten there's a phrase in comedy, I forgot who said it, but it's good comics say funny things. Great comics say things funny. And I'm just trying to get to where this is a language,
Yes. I get it. So what is it that you would like to accomplish in the next 5-10 years?
Be rich and famous, travel the world, all that good stuff. I feel like everybody wants what Kevin Hart currently has. Let's just be honest. If you're a comedian, you want to be Jerry Seinfeld. You want to be Chris Rock. You want to be Kevin Hart. You want to be the most successful Bernie Mac. You want to be the most successful version of yourself. But if I don't get there,
Thank you for being honest.
yes. But if I don't get there, I'm happy just doing this. You know what I mean? Like this is something I'm not going to stop doing. It's gotten me this far. You know.
Yes. So do you mostly stay inside of LA these days, or do you travel anywhere all over the country?
I've stayed mostly inside of LA the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Stayed mostly inside of these four walls the last 4 months. I did my job.
I haven't traveled, but my hips have gone, Rod. Another area code.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. What was that?
They're in another area code.
Oh. I stay inside of LA because I have to right now. Other than that, anytime I can get out of this town. Don't get me wrong, I love living here. It's a great place, but it's a town you need to get out of at least once a month or you will go.
Awesome. What are some great cities that have treated you well in your career?
El Paso, Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz treated me very well. Medford, Oregon is a fun town.
Love that town.
I've never been drunker in my life than I was in Miles City, Montana. In the middle of I don't know, and just gone out there. Seattle's a great town. New Orleans. I went to New Orleans on just a regular vacation and ended up doing comedy like 5. We were there 10 days. I think I did comedy like 5 or 6 nights. And I was just going to go. I was just going to follow my girlfriend and eat food and get drunk and dance, and have a good time. And I ended up having they got a great scene out there. Shout out to New Orleans with Southern hospitality. I had a blast. And there's a million other ones, but that's all I can think. Oh, and Las Vegas. Because I got family. I lived in Las Vegas for 3 years. So I got roots there.
I'm in Las Vegas. I love the comedy scene here.
Yes. Vegas is great. Vegas has been good to me. It's too damn hot, and y'all can get that. But other than that, I love to come visit.
Yes, absolutely. There's so much opportunity here in Vegas, and there's so many people that are willing to reach back and help people behind them.
And it's a great economic situation for comics. Not saying Vegas is cheap. I remember when I lived out there when I was 17, 18, 19, I lived on the top floor of my apartment building in a 1-bedroom apartment to myself, and I was paying $375. I feel like an old man, back in my day when my rent was less than $400 a month. Boy, I'll tell you. Man, I wish I had that again.
Totally.
Had a skylight, had a big own bedroom and shit. Now I don't have that much space now.
Things have really changed. Oh my gosh. I don't understand why, I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it because I'm real. In my lifetime, I've seen the opportunities in America dwindle quite a bit. Yeah. That's all I need to say there, And there was a day where you could scratch out a really good living doing a lot of things, not just comedy. Now it's really hard.
I don't really know anybody that has one job. Yeah. This is the first time in my life where one job kind of if I quit everything else I did and just kept my day job, I'd be more than straight. But so my jobs now are just because I don't really know how to stop. I still got another job that I used to do, but yeah. I spent so much time as a comic. I don't know how to not hustle because I've never had a steady paycheck in my life. I've always been working some part-time job on top of a part-time job, on top of a side gig, on top of a side hustle, on top of another hustle that may or may not be legal, just to be legal in America, just to make it, just to get to not having enough. You know what I mean? To where you pay all your rent, 3 of your bills, and just enough for food, and then you move on.
Just enough to have $40 till payday.
Thank you. That's the name of the special. That's why it's called $40 till Friday.
Till Friday. Gotta get that. Yeah, I'm gonna put all your links up again. I did it earlier today, and I'm gonna promote it a couple more times. who you are and the video. And this raw video that we're doing right now is very basic, but in 2 or 3 days, somebody you've met before, who he was just here, he does my tech work. He's a comedian. Adam Dominguez does the editing, and he makes it look like a sitcom. And it'll come in about 2 to 3 days, and then I'll send it to you so you can share that.
Fantastic.
You will. I've been so looking forward to meeting you. You're a delight. You're a bright light in a very dark world right now. And I thank you for the energy and the happiness that you brought to me. Yeah. I'm getting it's getting deep in here, you guys. I'm talking real. You know,
thank you so much. I appreciate
taking this crappy world and you're rising above it. And I really appreciate your energy with that.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate your energy and all that you're doing. And thank you for your service. And thank you for making other white people uncomfortable. That's very, very important.
I hope they stay uncomfortable because it's not fixed yet.
Yes. Thank you.
So, yeah. Anyway, you've been a delight. And I'm going to head out of here. And is there anything you want to say in a comedic kind of way that, you know, nobody really knew they were going to go through their very first pandemic? Is there anything funny you want to say how to cope with this until it's over?
Wear a mask. Just put the damn mask on. Put your food in the cart, pay for it, and go home. Get drunk, play a video game, and wait this shit out. Put your mask on. Wash your hands.
Thank you, Cory. Showtime Robinson. You're a doll. Thank you. God bless you and have a great day. And we'll see you there when I see you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.